Hello students, in the last session we have studied jump statements in Java. In today's session we will discuss arrays in Java. Arrays are special type of variables or special type of objects which can store multiple different elements. The variables which we have studied up till now, say if we have a variable of type integer, say int a, that variable can store values. We can store value like 10 or 20, but we cannot store both 10 and 20 into a variable that is int of a. But array is such a variable, such an object which can store more than one values. So we will study in today's session in detail about arrays. So let's start. As I've said, array is an ordered list of values. So array can hold a list of values. The values held in an array are called as elements. Values which we store in an array are called as elements. An array stores multiple values of the same type, the element type. All the values of an array should be of same type. The element type can be primitive type or an object reference. That simply means in an array you can store primitive data values like values of type integer, float, or even object types can be stored in an array, say string or any other objects. Therefore, we can create an array of integers, array of characters, and array of string objects. Okay, we have pictorial representation of an array. So how array stores value in the memory, that has been represented in this particular diagram. So we have an array with the name scores which contains some list of values. Say values are 79, 87, 94, 82, like this. Array always stores values in order, so continuous memory locations. All the elements are stored in an array, and each value has a numeric index. Remember, in array all the values have numeric index. For example, the first value here, it is 79, and the numeric index for that value is 0. Means that value is stored at location 0 in an array. Same way 87 is stored at the location 1, and the last value 91, it is stored at the location 9. See, totally we have 10 elements in this particular array, and the maximum index value for this, it is 9. So as it is said, an array of size n is indexed from 0 to n minus 1. So if you have an array of size 10, then index always starts from 0 to n minus 1, that is 10 minus 1, that will be 9. So maximum index value can be 9. So this array holds 10 values that are indexed from 0 to 9. Okay, this is how array elements are represented in the memory. Okay, let's see how array can be declared in Java. So we have declared a scores array could be declared as follows. So this is the declaration of an array in Java. We have the type array brackets and the name of an array. See, this is a typical declaration of an array. This is the data type, array brackets, name, array name, then equals to new keyword, again the type, and inside the array bracket we have the size of our array. That means we have created an array with a name scores with elements, that is number of elements are 10. So at max we can store 10 elements in this scores array. Now the type of variable scores is int, an array of type integer. Note that the array type does not specify its size, but each object of that type has a specific size. So every element which you store inside the array has a specific size, and that size, it depends on the type of your array. As the array is of type integer, so you can store 10 integer values in the scores array, and every element or every value has a size, that is the size of your integer variable. The reference variable scores is set to a new array object that can hold 10 integers. So this scores, it is set to be a reference variable, means it points to actual memory locations which stores the value. You can see in the last diagram. So this scores, it is simply a pointer which points to the actual values, and that is why it is called as the reference variable. Okay, this is how we can declare an array. Again, there are different syntax, declaration syntax are available. Some of the examples are given here. So the first example we have seen, we have declared an array of type float here. So float array brackets, name of an array, prices is equals to new float 500. So that simply means this prices can store 500 elements of type float. There is one more variation in the declaration. So we have boolean array brackets, name of the array variable, then there is no equal or new line or new keyword here, but on the next line we have declared flags is equals to new boolean. So we have separated the declaration here from the instantiation. Even this type of syntax is allowed in Java. So you can declare the variable first, that is flags, then you can instantiate it by using this syntax, that is flags is equals to new boolean of 20. Even we can have a character array by using a syntax, that is char of array brackets, variable name new char 1750. So this is a typical declaration of an array in Java programming language. Okay, next is referencing array elements. Now once you have declared an array, how you can reference the array elements? A particular value in an array is referenced using the array name followed by the index in the brackets. So to refer to an element in an array, we use the index values of an array. Say if I want to refer to this particular value, I want to refer to 94, that is this value. Then how I can refer to 94 value? I can use index. Look at this example here. Scores of 2. So scores of 2 here represents the third value in the array, and the third value in the array, it is 94. So by using the index, we can refer to a particular value in the array. That expression represents a place to store a single integer and can be used wherever an integer variable can be used. Now the same syntax can also be used to store some value at that particular location. Say I want to store some value at location 2 in my array. So I may declare it something like this. If I say I want to change the value 94 and I want to store 100 at that position. So I may use an expression, say scores, this is my array name, scores, okay, consider this as scores, and the index 2, and then I have to use equal sign to store a value at that particular position. So I may say 100. So here 100 is stored in the array variable scores at location 2. That is the index position. Remember, this 2 represents index position of an element. Okay, this is about referencing array elements. Next is using arrays. Now, if you have an array with some values, how you can access the elements, how you can use the elements or print the elements from an array. And for that, Java provides an iterator version of the for loop. We have already studied about the iterator version of the for loop in the last session. So this iterator version of the for loop can be used when processing array elements. One example is given here. We have seen that scores array. Suppose I want to print all the elements from the scores array. I may use for loop like for int of score, this is a counter variable, colon, array name is scores. And how this for loop works, as I've told you, every element from the scores, one by one it is assigned to a variable score. First time it will assign the first element to score, and we have one statement inside the for loop, system.out.print, and that will print the value of score. Like this loop repeats for the number of elements in the array, and all the elements can be printed. And this type of loop is appropriate when we are processing all array elements from top to bottom. So remember, this type of loop you can use with an array, but when it is appropriate, only when you are going from the first element to the last element. If I ask you to print elements in the reverse order, say from the last element to the first element, then this type of loop cannot be used. You can go for a simple loop for such operations. Okay, next is initializer list. So initializer list can be used to instantiate and fill an array in one step. That simply means we have seen only a declaration of an array, but if I want to store some values in the array at the time of declaration itself, so that is called as instantiate and fill an array in one step. Declare an array and store some values into it. How it can be done? The values are delimited by braces, or we call it as flower brackets, and separated by commas. So let us see one example here. Suppose we are creating an array here. Int of array brackets units is equals to, in flower bracket we have declared some values here and flower bracket is closed at the end. So in between the flower bracket open and flower bracket close, we have some set of values which are separated by comma, So this is how you can store values into array variable at the time of declaration itself. This is called as instantiate and fill an array. So initialization of an array. You can initialize an array by using this particular syntax. One more example is given. Char array brackets, we have letter grades as the name of array, is equals to, inside flower bracket we have some characters. So we are storing some set of characters into array letter grades. Okay, there are certain things to remember here when you initialize an array. So note that when an initializer list is used, first thing, we do not use the new operator when the initializer list is used. If you look at the example, here no new operator is used like in earlier case. When you initialize an array, no need to use the new operator. Second thing is size is not specified. When you use initializer, no size value is specified. Size is automatically considered depending on the number of values which we are sending or which we are storing in the array. So no need to specify the size of an array when you are using initializer list. So as I've said, the size is determined by the number of items in the initializer list. An initializer list can be used only in the array declaration, remember. That's it for today's session. We will stop here. We will continue our discussion of arrays in the next session. Thank you.